Hi and welcome back to our page. Right, let me tell you something that nobody else is going to tell you about finding care tenders. You're checking your local council website every day and nothing. You're Googling care tenders in my area and nothing useful comes up. Meanwhile, your competitor down the road just won a 400 million contract and you didn't even know it was there. This happens constantly. So let me show you exactly how councils actually advertise tenders, because it's honestly a bit of a mess. And if you don't know the system, you're missing out on opportunities every single week. Here's what actually happens. You've got Barnet Council using something called Proactis. Then you've got Portsmouth using Intend. Birmingham's on a different system and Manchester uses something else entirely. And then you've got a whole finder tender service on top of that, which replaced the old OGEU system before we left the EU. Councils aren't being difficult on purpose. They just use whatever system their IT department set up years ago. But for you, trying to find opportunities, you're checking multiple websites every single day, setting up email alerts everywhere, and you're still not confident you're seeing everything. And the problem is you probably aren't. Look, I'm going to show you how this actually works. Not the complicated version you get from the government guidance documents, the real version. The version that actually helps you find tenders and win them. Alright, so here's how the system actually works. There are two main government portals, Find a Tender Service and Contracts Finder. From February this year, the rules changed under the new Procurement Act. Most tenders should be going on to Find a Tender Service now. But here's the bit nobody explains properly. When you find a tender notice on Find a Tender or Contracts Finder, that's just the advertisement. That's just the council saying, we've got this contract available. If you scroll down in that notice, it will tell you which portal to use to access the actual tender documents and submit your bid. Let me show you. Here's a domiciliary care tender. See this line here. Access tender documents via Proactis supplier network, and it gives you the link. That's where you need to register. That's where you download the specification, the pricing schedule, all the actual documents, and Find a Tender is just a notice board. The actual tender, that's on whichever system the council uses. So, what are these systems? Proactis is probably the biggest. Loads of London boroughs use it, Yorkshire councils use it, and most South West councils. If you see something called London Tenders Portal or Your Tender, that's Proactis under a different name. Intend is another major one. Milton Keynes, Portsmouth, West Northants and Worcestershire free to register. Bravo Solution pops up for various government departments and NHS bodies. Now, if you're working in Wales, forget all that. Everything goes through Sell to Wales, and I mean everything. Welsh councils, Welsh NHS, Welsh housing associations, plus you need your CIW registration sorted because every tender will ask for your registration number. Northern Ireland, it's eTenders NI. You need something called a DUNS number to register. It's free, takes about a week to get, and don't wait until you find a tender to sort this out. Get it done now. Scotland, however, uses Public Contracts Scotland. It's straightforward, covers everything from councils to NHS Scotland. Registration on all these is free, but here's the thing. Even when you know all this, you're still checking multiple places every single day, and you're still not sure if you're seeing everything. That's the real problem, isn't it? You can set up accounts on Find a Tender, Contracts Finder, register with Proactis and Intend, set up email alerts everywhere. You're spending hours every week just monitoring for opportunities, but you're still worried you're missing things. How do you know which councils are about to publish? What if posts are on a different portal? And what if your email alert doesn't fire? What if the tender only runs for 3 weeks and you see it in week 2? And then even when you find tenders, which ones are actually worth your time? So the confusion I mentioned earlier is exactly why we built our own tender portal. Go to our website at caresyncexperts.co.uk. At the top of the page, you will see menu. Click on tenders and what you get is every care sector tender in England, Wales and Northern Ireland in one place. Updated daily, and you can search by care type. Domiciliary care, supported living, residential care, and filter by your area. You see the deadlines, the contract values, and what they're actually asking for. We monitor all portals, all the councils, and all the systems, so you don't need to. But here's the bigger thing. We don't just show you tenders, we help you understand which ones you should actually bid for, because that's where most people go wrong. Let me give you a proper example. About 4 months ago, we had a provider contact us. She'd been running a small domiciliary care agency in Leicestershire for about 2 years. She had 8 carers, all directly employed, good local reputation and good CQC rating. She was getting referrals from self-funders and some NHS continuing healthcare, but she wanted to grow. She wanted a local authority contract. She'd been looking for tenders for about 6 months and found nothing. Thought maybe her council just wasn't commissioning. The first conversation we had with her, I looked at her area. There were actually 4 live tenders within 20 miles of her. 4. She hadn't seen any of them, and 1 was on Proactis, and 1 was on Intend. 2 were on regional East Midlands portals she didn't even know existed. Now here's where it gets interesting. 3 of those tenders she had no realistic chance of winning. 1 wanted 24/7 on-call management. She didn't have that. 1 required providers to already have an existing local authority contract, and again, she didn't have that also. 1 was for learning disabilities. She specialised in older people. But the 4th one was perfect for her. Domiciliary care for older people in 2 specific wards. The contract value was $340,000 over 3 years. They wanted a small local provider who could demonstrate community connections. That was exactly what she had. We helped her write that bid. It took about 3 weeks, and we focused the entire submission on her local knowledge, her staff who lived in those wards, relationships she'd built with GP surgeries and community centres, and made it about why a small local provider was better than a big regional company. She got shortlisted, did the interview, and won the contract. That contract has completely changed her business. She's gone from 8 staff to 19, she's got a stable income, she's now looking at expanding into neighbouring authorities. But here's the point. If she'd kept doing what she was doing, checking her local council website every day, she wouldn't have found that tender. And even if she had stumbled across it somehow, she might have wasted time bidding for the other 3 that she had no chance with. CareSync, that's just what we do. We don't just find tenders, we help you work out which ones actually work for you. All right, so here's what you need to do. If you're in England, register on Find a Tender service. That's your starting point. Then, when you find a tender you want to go for, register on whatever portal they tell you to use in the notice. Usually it's Proactis, Intend, or Bravo Solution. In Wales, it's Sell to Wales, and that's it. Everything goes through there. Make sure your CIW registration is current, and in Northern Ireland, get your DUNS number first, then register on eTenders NI. Make sure your RQIA registration is live, and in Scotland, it's Public Contract Scotland. Or use the portal at caresyncexperts.co.uk, and we'll monitor everything for you. Finding tenders is only half the job. You've then got to write them. And if you've never written a public sector tender before, they're nothing like normal quotes. They want method statements, they want safeguarding procedures, and they want your approach to social value written in a very specific way. We've written over 200 tenders, and we know exactly what commissioners want to see. So, if you're serious about winning local authority contracts, you've got 2 choices. You can spend the next few months learning all this yourself, registering on every portal, tracking deadlines, and writing bids in your evenings and weekends, hoping you get it right. Or you can call us on 0333 577 0877 and we'll show you what tenders are actually available in your area. We'll tell you honestly which ones you've got a realistic shot at, and we'll help you write your bids that get you shortlisted. We work with providers doing their very first tender, right through to established agencies, going for multi-million-pound contracts. But with CQC registration, RQIA in Northern Ireland, CIW in Wales, we write tenders, business plans, policies, all of it. If you just want to see what's out there, go to caresyncexperts.co.uk and click tenders. Have a look, there's no pressure. Right, that's actually how you find and win tenders, the real version, not the complicated government guidance version. Any questions? Stick them in the comments and we'll reply to all of them. If this was useful, subscribe, and we put videos every week on CQC, tenders, compliance, and all the stuff you actually need to know to run a care business. See you in the next one.